So today is one of those days where I don't really feel like doing a whole big meal for cooking, and you probably know if you're eating a whole foods kind of diet, that means you got to do a lot of cooking. You don't always feel like doing a whole lot of cooking. So I'm going to make some chicken tacos. For me, I'm going to wrap them in lettuce. I'll do like lettuce wrap tacos, but I'll show you the fast way to do it. But you do need a not a crock pot, but they call them instant pots now. You know, the pressure cookers, the things that we always used to call them. So here's what I'm going to make. I'll show you. Okay, so there's my pressure cooker, and I'm cooking for 6 people because we have 4 kids. And I've got some dark meat there, and I've got some white meat there, chicken breasts. So they're frozen still, and you can of course do this, and it's probably better to do this when they are not frozen, but fact is I didn't really know what we were having for dinner tonight until just now, so I just pulled them out of the freezer, and you know what? Just throw them in there and they'll get done just fine. So I'm going to season them up with a like a taco spice seasoning. I'll do a recipe down below, and then I'll pour in a little bit of filtered water. We got one of those little under the sink kind of filtered waters to filter out fluoride and everything, reverse osmosis. And then yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so I have about 1.5 cups of water there. I've never actually measured it. I always just kind of wing it. So let me see about pouring in that water, about how much I do. So you don't need a whole lot of water. You know, you just want to get kind of a little bit in there. Looks like I've used about maybe 1 cup, about 1 cup of water. You don't need to fill it too far, right? Okay, so now we'll put the lid on and make sure we're turned over to pressure. Okay, we're on pressure, and now we're going to go to high temperature. So let's go to high temperature, and when it's frozen like this, I'm going to go about 25 minutes. That should do it. So I'll hit start. All right, and hopefully in 25 minutes we will be good to go on that, and then I can build up some tacos. Hey, so while I'm waiting, I figured maybe make a little guacamole. I only have 1 guacamole left over, so let's make a little snack. Okay, so here's how I normally make my guacamole. I like to roast my jalapeno and put a little bit of that in it, and I'll roast the garlic in like maybe a little bit of avocado oil. So I'll just cut some cloves off, leave the wrappers on, throw it in a jar, kind of like this one, a little bit smaller maybe. Put a little bit of oil in it with the garlic cloves, cover it with some foil, roast it at like 350 degrees for, I don't know, about 7 minutes or so. And I'll put a little bit of that garlic oil in it, chop up the garlic a little bit and put it in there. And of course the lime, tomato, avocado. I only had 1 avocado, so I'm just going to make something really small. And I season it with my Himalayan sea salt, black pepper, and I usually like to have cilantro in it. I don't have cilantro right now, so I always keep this on hand because I'll put this in there as well. Thing is, I only have 1 avocado, and I've got little kids, so this is going to be out. This will probably be out. They usually don't like the garlic in there. They'll eat around the tomato. But maybe because it's just 1, I might not do the tomato tonight. But and then the onion, the kids don't like the onion too. Oh my goodness, is it even guacamole then? So I'm basically going to just do that right there. So it's kind of a modified guacamole. But yeah, you know what? And hey, while I'm over here, you could always up it a little bit by putting a little prebiotic fiber in it. You could throw some collagen in there as you want. You might not want to put the wine in it, though you could try, but it might taste a little bit different. So anyways, that's how I usually do it. A shallot instead of a red onion. You can see I've been like hacking away at that onion here lately. Sometimes, like if you roast that onion with the jalapeno, and it will it'll kind of turn a little bit sweet or something. You could try that. So anyways, I'm going to do a very basic one like this tonight, but I wanted to show you how I usually do it. Okay, so I just tasted it, and you know what? I need a little garlic powder in my life. If I'm not going to do the garlic in there, it's sitting off to the side. I'm going to do a little bit of garlic, I think, and you know what? I think I'm going to sneak in the tomato. I mean, it's got to be guacamole, right? Maybe I'll do up a video on a guacamole recipe if you would like. You could let me know in the comments. But just remember, less is more, right? Or less is less. You don't want to overspice. Once it's overspiced, unless you have more avocados to throw into the mix to tone it back down, you're screwed, you know, with the flavor. So I always do a little bit of spice at a time to get it incrementally until it's where I like it. But little guacamole tip. Guacamole is done. Now the question is, am I going to eat it all, or am I going to save some for the kids? Well, I'm going to save some for the kids and my lovely wife, but I'm going to sneak in a little bit here for a snack while everything's cooking. So the question is, what am I going to dip into the guacamole, right? So I could fry up some chips if I have some tortillas. Now, I always say, oh, there she is. She's looking at me. I always say, be careful with low carb things because like tortillas, because sometimes they have really bad ingredients in them. So here's an option, a cucumber. Cut some slices of cucumber and use those as your chips. They're pretty good actually. I'm not a big fan of cucumbers, but when I dip it in guacamole, it actually tastes pretty good. And these are really good for you. Much better than tortilla chips or something fried in oil or anything like that. The most depressing part is that while I cook, I always have music playing. But you don't hear the music while I'm doing the video. I gotta keep telling it to pause. I use Alexa app. Never mind. I always use the app to play music while I'm cooking. And I don't know, do you listen to music when you cook, or what do? Do you put headphones on sometimes? But yeah, I gotta keep stopping it because sometimes the audio on this video won't play on our favorite social media channel because of copyrighted material. But my cucumbers are ready. There we go. 1 cucumber chip to be eaten by me. Watch, you want to see something funny? My wife, she just got out of the shower. She's in a robe.
No.
But I got my cucumber chip. My wife just said she likes to take the skin off the cucumber. It's more enjoyable. I suppose it is, but this is the way I do it. What do you want from me? I'm sorry. Okay, so you know how it is when you're in the kitchen, you start cooking, and all of a sudden, you know what? You start feeling more like cooking more, and you might have some music on, drinking a little bit of wine or whatever it might be. So, you know, I'm sitting here seeing this sitting here and all this stuff kind of sitting here, and it would go good on my taco. So I'm going to make it very simple. I'm going to take my red peppers, put them in a bowl, take my onion, put them in a bowl, and I'll take the jalapeno, throw it in there. I'll throw a little bit of salt on this guy, and over in here I'll throw some salt in there. I'm going to put some pepper in there. And what I'm going to do is roast these in an oven at about 400 degrees. This is some olive oil. Since it's 400 degrees in that oven, you want to make sure you're using an oil that's not going to burn at that, or come to a smoking point at that temperature. So avocado oil is typically over a 400 degree smoking point. And actually I forgot I was going to put in a little bit of, oh no, it's all oily, garlic powder. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there. And oh boy, my daughter just said she wants pasta for dinner. What am I going to do? Okay, so I'm going to take this my garlic with the, I saw the wrapper on whenever I roast them. I usually leave the wrapper on. I put a little bit of oil on there. I'm going to throw that on a sheet pan into the oven, 400 degrees, until it looks about the way that I want it to look, which is caramelized down just a little bit. All right, I got avocado oil spray. So we'll spray us a little area on there. And I did preheat this in the oven, so it should sizzle a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to spread these out. I'll put that on there. Let's start it down. And I'm going to go ahead and just toss this in the oven for at the 400 degrees for, I don't know, maybe roughly 10 minutes. Okay, the beeper went off on the pressure cooker. You know what that means. Here goes nothing. You ready for this, Colton? Yeah. Alright, here we go. You got the cat. You might want to put the cat down. Oh no! Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. Whoa, whoa. Vegetables are looking good. I just flipped them a little bit. We're at 400 degrees still. And it wasn't so scary. And my wife cut up a little bit of the purple cabbage, which goes really good in there. You could roast that as well if you wanted to. So you can see the evolution of this, right? It started out, I really didn't feel like cooking, so I just threw some frozen chicken breasts in the crock pot, not the crock pot, in the pressure cooker. And I was just going to do some quick little lettuce wraps with a little bit of cheese in it and call it a day. But now, you know what? That's just the way it goes. All right, let's do the reveal. And no, that is not my hand, by the way. All right, and there she be. There she be. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to shred it all up. And then the question will be, do I put it back in to soak up some of the juices and everything? Or do I just go with the shredded chicken? I'll probably throw it back in. Okay, so there's a shredded chicken. Now here's a little tip. Because when you take that out of there, it's going to be a little liquidy when you put it in your taco. You can put it in a cast iron skillet or, you know, regular skillet if you want. But you put the chicken in there with a little bit of the broth, and it just kind of reduces that chicken broth down a little, and it actually flavors it a little bit. And you could even add more spices to it at that point if you want in here, and you heat it up. It dries it up a little bit, tastes a little bit better. But, you know, this is supposed to be anyways, a quick little thing to cook. So I'm not going to use the cast iron right now. I'm just going to use the wet chicken. Here's what I will be wrapping my tacos with, which is the butter lettuce. And I will be using, for cheese, grass-fed milk, grass-fed cows, cheese from grass-fed cows, raw cheddar, organic. Because I do a kind of low carb paleo kind of diet, paleo meaning I try not to eat very many processed foods and chemicals and things like that. Paleo usually means very, very low, if any, dairy, but I do low dairy, and when I do dairy, I always look for grass-fed milk. Okay, so I have to figure out how to do this on camera holding the phone. So I got my lettuce wrap, which I washed, my chicken. I'm going to put in a little bit of my spices. Squeeze a little bit of the lime on there. Throw a little cheese on there. Oh, I forgot my guacamole. And by magic of cell phones, there's my guacamole. Some of my grass-fed cheese. And there's my wife's with a corn tortilla. Okay, and there is my taco. And I will save you watching me eat it and get it everywhere and everything like that. But that is how you can make a quick chicken taco with lettuce wraps, or you know, if you wanted to do some kind of tortilla, you can. But yeah, okay. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have any other recipes that you have or anything, or how you make tacos, I would love to see them. And by the way, don't forget to look at the Carb Haters stories. I'm posting stories, Facebook stories. I actually post them on Instagram because that works a little easier for me. I have an Instagram account, Carb Haters. But I do stories, and you find little behind the scenes kind of things and everything. The other day I put together a flat top grill in my backyard and stuff. So check those out if you see them. All right, thanks.